up with our weights in our hands and arms at our sides. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And when you drop them down, let the weights actually kind of give you a little bit of a extra stretch. And then let's just do one arm at a time. Same idea, I'm letting my weight drop. Boom, boom. Good. And then we're going to step apart just a little bit, abs in. We're going to do an upright row, elbows lead the way, shoulders pull back again and down. So we're going to lift, shoulders pull back and come down. So we're just trying to create a little bit of awareness of that upper body. Let's go ahead, sorry, we can move those feet back into your parallel Pilates posture. So elbows lead the way, up, back, and down, lifting up, up, back, and down. A couple more like that. Beautiful. Relax that. Shoulders might feel a little bit happening here. And now we're going to lift it up again, but this time we're going to flip our arms upward. And I want you to emphasize the pull back. So we're not pressing forward, we're squeezing back and down. Open that chest. I don't care if your ribs pop up right now. Press up a little, but squeeze back and down. So really emphasize the squeeze between the shoulder blades. Couple more here. Beautiful. Relax that down. Roll those shoulders out. One more time, we're going to do that upright row. We're going to flip just a little bit. And then this time, we're going to bring this in like we're going to our ears and then come back out again. So it's a little bit of an oval movement. So you are pressing forward again, but this time you also pull back and down. So it's almost like a miniature upright row, but way up here. If this feels like too much for your shoulders, you can do it a little lower, right? You find that place that it works best for you. Please don't hit yourself in the face with your weights. Woo, a couple more. I'm feeling it in my shoulders. And relax. Let's just set those weights down for 1 second. Shake your left hand out. Give that arm a swing. Let it drop. Use your right hand to pull it down and across your body. Then lift it up. Grab your other shoulder and use your right hand to pull down again. And let's let that ear tip over, hopefully giving you a nice stretch. And then lift that elbow up. Get a little stretch behind that shoulder by rounding. And then we'll come up. Right arm swings nice and loose. And we'll bring it across. We'll pull it down. And then we'll lift it up. Bring it down and across. Other hand on that shoulder. Pulling down. Tip that ear over. And bring that back and down. Nod your head yes. Drop your chin to your chest. Bring your fingers lightly to the back of your head. And then inhale, press up against your hands, getting length in your back of the neck. And then go ahead, if you'd like, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest. And then again, we're going to drop down. We're going to lift up. 2 more times, we drop down. And we lift up. Last time, let that head drop. And lift up. And then again, just shoulders, loosey-goosey here. So hopefully that upper body feels a little bit more relaxed by now. So we get to grab the weights again. Your hands are going to be thumbs up. And I just want you to start with a little tricep press here. Just get used to that. Bend and press back. So it's not about a bicep curl. It's more about a press back. So you just barely bend, but then you stretch out. And then we're going to step onto that right leg. And we're going to lift that left leg. We're going to bend that right knee, reach out and come in. Reach out and come in. So you're bending into that right knee. You're kicking back with those arms. If you want to, you can turn your grip so your palms face the back of the room and then lift. So we're getting that tricep work. I know that my right knee might not be bending much, but sit into it with your right leg, stretch out with your left. And if you want to, you can turn your palms to face forward and do that French press version of a tricep. Just a couple more. Hopefully that right glute is feeling these. And relax. Woo. Right leg over left. Right arm up and over, if that's okay with you. If that's too much with the weight, put the weight in the opposite hand, right? And then up and over we go. Might be give you an extra stretch if you do have the weight in your hand, and then bring it down. Weight on that left leg. This time it will be a bicep curl. So we're going to curl with the palms facing the ceiling. And then when you're ready, you sit into it and reach out. Sit into it and reach out. Good. And again, we can play with this grip. We can do thumbs up. And we can work this muscle, your forearm muscle, if we do palms down. And then go thumbs up again, almost there. And then let's do palms up again. And lastly, flip it over, if you'd like, knuckles up. One more. Beautiful. Left leg steps over the right. If it's too much, put both weights in the right hand. Otherwise, left arm up and over, hips to the left. Oh, beautiful. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to set those weights down on the ground. Bring yourself on down. And before we move on, let's get a little stretch for that up back. So hug both knees in, please. Take a little rock side to side. And then put the right foot on the ground, hug that left knee in. Maybe give it a little bit of a circle. Feel a nice massage on the left side of your low back. Bring that left knee up and over towards your right shoulder. Get a little stretch into your hip. Give it a tug. And then let's put the left foot on the ground. Bring that right knee in. Same thing. Just moving it around, feeling how that stretch moves to different parts of the body. Or the back. Good. Then bring it up and over towards your left shoulder. Ooh, nice deep stretch for that hip. And then both feet on the ground. All right. Have your weights handy. We're going to start with ab prep. And as often, I often do, I'll give you the options with the weights during ab prep, and then you can choose whether you want to use them or how you want to use them. So here we go. Exhale, hands float up to your knees. Option to bring your arms up or out, overhead in a V or overhead in an I. Exhale down. So again, come on up, choose where you want your arms to go or not, and exhale down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale, stretch and reach, and exhale down. Now, if you want to use a single weight, you're just going to grab one weight between both hands. Exhale, lift. You might keep it there. You might lift it up. You might bring it overhead slightly or all the way by your ears. And then exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. And exhale down. So that's a single weight. You also have the option to stack both weights together. If your hands will hold that, okay? Hey, sweetie. Exhale, lift. You might hold there. You might lift up. You might reach overhead. Totally up to you. Exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale down. And if you want, you could separate the weights, one in each hand, and then you have a couple options. They could still go overhead, right? Or when you come up, they could come out into a T position, shoulder blades off the ground, right? So you have lots of options. If your neck is bothering you, I'm going to suggest that you don't lift up at all. You just bring those weights overhead, but make sure the ribs don't pop up when you do that. Maybe try a few like that. And then when you're ready, bring it back into the lift. Good. Keep that going. Sorry, somebody needed a belly rub, so you guys have 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last one. All right. Okay, adding on, we're going to go into our double leg stretch. We're going to lift those legs in tabletop, head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. We extend arms and legs this time. right? And then bend or sweep those arms, stretch and reach. Option to add a single weight, right? Overhead. Again, if head, neck, and shoulders are bugging you, you can keep your head down. Option to add double weights, one in each hand, or one weight stacked up in both hands, or one in each hand. Last option is to take one of the weights below your knees at a place where you can hold it and won't drop it, and then extend from there. And now you have resistance overhead and below the waist. So you have upper body and lower body. So whichever version you're doing, wherever you have your weights, let's do 4 more, please. And then you're going to take those weights, stack them up, put them on the fronts of your shins. And that should give you a little bit of an extra stretch for your low back. Take a little rock side to side. And then lift those legs tabletop, one weight in each hand, unless you're not using the weights at all. Head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Left leg extends, right arm goes up by your ear, single leg stretch. Inhale back to center, right leg extends, left arm reaches. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Keep it going. Single leg stretch. And again, you have the option to take the weights down if they're bugging you. You could certainly just use one weight going overhead, just like we did initially. And relax. Keep those legs stacked up tabletop. Let's bring one weight below those knees. Squeeze those knees together. Let's take that other weight, if it's comfortable and won't compress any vital organs or break any ribs, put it on your rib cage and then pull those abs in. Arms out into a T, toe touch. So inhale as those legs move away. Exhale to bring them back up again, nice and slowly. Inhale, knees move away, opening up that angle at your hips. Exhale, lift back up, tabletop. Take your time on the way down, maybe try and get at least 2 counts on the way down and 4 counts, 3 or 4 counts on the way up. Legs move away. That weight on your ribs should give you that feedback of what's going on. Good. Come on back up for just a quick second. Flip that weight. Put it on top of your shins for a quick stretch. And then put it right back between your knees. Take the weight that was on your ribs and put it in your right hand. Open your right arm to the right and your left arm to the left. Knees are going to move to the left as far as you can go without falling, and then come back to center. Over to the left and back to center. So it's a one-sided, right, rotation. Couple more. Last 2. Beautiful. Grab the weight into your left hand. Let your knees drop all the way to the left into a twist. Come on back through center, let them drop to the right. Now keep the weight that's in your left hand there. Bring your legs back up to center. Put the weight below your knees. Arms out into a T, and now knees go to the right. And then just back to center. So one-sided. Just 2 more. Good. Move that weight, put it in your right hand, knees drop to the right into a twist. and then up, over to the left. And then let's come back through center, set our legs up for a bridge, and put the weights on our hip flexors. And you're just going to use your fingers to hold that in place. Deep breath in, exhale, lift those hips up in your first bridge. From there, we're just going to drop an inch and lift an inch, drop an inch and lift. And all the way down. You're going to take both weights onto your left hip flexor this time. And again, use your left hand to hold them there. Stretch your right leg out on the ground and then lift it up and squeeze it up against your left knee. And then you come up in a bridge, right hand off the ground if possible, right leg up in the air. We're going to lower the hips, lift the hips, lower the right leg, lift the right leg, hips down and up, leg down and up. Down, up with the hips, down, up with the leg. Two more. Beautiful. Bend your right knee, put those weights on that right hip flexor. Left leg stretches out, bring it next to the right knee. Lift up in your bridge, left hand hovers if possible, left leg up, hips down and up, left leg down, left leg up, hips down and up, left leg down and up, hips down and up, left leg down and up. Down, up with the hips, down, up with the legs, leg. Beautiful, just one more. And bring that in, grab those knees. Hands holding the weights behind the hammies, a little rock side to side, little stretch here. And then let's put those weights on top of the ankles, hold them in place, bring your forehead to your knees, exhale, rolling like a ball. The weights will give you that little extra to bring you up. And then next time you come up, we'll stay up. Separate those legs, sit tall on your sit bones. Give me a quick little spine stretch. We'll do another one in a minute. If your legs want to straighten, that's fine, so long as your body doesn't drop into your hips. And then let's bring those legs together. And yeah, we're going to try this full on. So weights in both hands, or one in each hand. Make sure that the palms are facing the ceiling. If you know already you have some low back issues, go back to bent knee. Otherwise, slowly lower with your hands low to the ground. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, keep your hands low to the ground. Hopefully that extra weight up and out in front of you will allow you to do a roll up. If not, your options are A, try that bent knee position. If that helps the back a little bit, it takes a little bit of the weight out of the front, so it might make it more difficult. Or if you know that neither of those works for you, you're just going to do that partial roll down and lift up. So lots of options here. Next time you come up, go ahead and stay up. Bring those weights out in front of you. And we're going to turn over onto our sides facing the front. Knees stacked. And both weights on that top leg if that's okay with you. Take your top hand and just put your palm on those weights. Arm underneath your ear. And we'll start with just a simple lift. So my knee and my ankle come up at the same time. Make sure your waistline's off the ground. Good. And now heels together and we'll pivot open. Good, and now we're gonna let those knees stay down on the ground, heels up in the air, and again, we pivot open. And relax. Give those hips a little bit of love. We're gonna stay on this side for a side plank. So come on up onto your elbow, resting on your forearm. Let's push that shoulder back, lift up out of it, engage those lats. You know you have lots of options for your side plank. Let's bring a single weight into your top hand. You can decide later, or you can decide not to bring it up at all, sorry. And then that weight comes up in your arm. I want you to open 1 inch to the sky, and then 1 inch up and over. Back to center, 1 inch open, and then 1 inch over. One more, and relax. Let's do both of those on the other side. So go ahead and pivot, bring your weights with you. Still facing me, just move your head to the other end, please. Both weights on that top leg, if that's going to be okay with you, and then the hand just holds them into place. Waistline off the ground, ear resting on that arm, and we start with that simple lift. Good. Heels together, pivot open. And then knees down, heels in the air, pivot open. And relax. Feel free to give that hip a little bit of love before we move on to your side plank. And then when you're ready, stack it all up. Elbow underneath shoulder, shoulder back and down. And then single weight in that top leg, if that's okay with you. Lift it up, open 1 inch to the back of the room, and then up and overhead. So open to the sky, up and over. Last time, and relax. You're going to go ahead and pivot all the way over onto your abs. Try and put one weight on each side of your mat before you come down. So you have the option for 2 weights. Just take a moment. Take a big deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. Lift that right leg up, stretch it as long as you can, point the toes, and then bring it down. Same thing, left leg lifted up, stretch it long, and bring it down. So think about keeping your toenails on the ground, but kneecaps lifted so you engage those quads. Let's start with just a single weight. We're going to bring our hands under the weight so the palms are facing the ceiling. Now, your shoulders may immediately roll forward. So the first thing that we want to do after you square your head is squeeze the shoulders so that they're lifted. Then slide your hands down your legs to lift your chest a couple of inches. Forehead still looking down at the ground. Exhale down, deep breath in. Exhale, shoulders lift and squeeze. Inhale, lift a little further. Stretch those fingers down your legs. Exhale down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lift and reach. Good. Now you can stick with that, or you have that other weight over there if you want to do both ways. I have to warn you, that puts more pressure on the fronts of those shoulders, right? So it feels like it causes them to drop forward instead of stay lifted. Then just try the one weight. And relax. Let's go ahead and press back in our shell stretch. So hips sit back on your heels if that's okay with you. Hands can be there if you like. Then as you come forward, we're going to stack everything up. We're going to roll into a cat and inhale into a cow. We're going to take one of those weights behind our right leg. And then we want to bend that right knee so much the right heel is almost touching the right hip. Make sure the foot doesn't flare to the side. Keep everything stacked nice and square. Then flex through that heel and lift that leg just even with your hips. So try not to go way up like that. You're going to stay here for now, just holding that weight, abs in. Option to bring your left arm up by your left ear. Big option, bring that weight with you, left arm over your left ear. Again, that's a lot on your shoulders, so be careful. Maybe don't choose that if you don't think that's smart for your shoulder. If you want to, you can add the tiniest pulse, lifting the heel and lifting the thumb. Just 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax that down. This time that weight comes behind your left leg. And again, you want to secure that left heel nice and close to your glute. Don't know if I should probably not do this one on this side. Let's see. And then you lift that left leg up. Nope. You guys keep going. And lift it up. And hold it. Extend that right arm if you want. Holding, reaching. Add the weight in your right hand if you want. Add a little pulse if you want. And relax. Okay. We are spinning all the way back over onto our spine. Hug those knees in for a moment. Weights are handy. And then feet go down on the ground. We're going to put both weights in your left hand, or you can certainly do a single weight if that feels like it's a lot to hold, or if it just feels too heavy. Take your right hand, put it across your rib cage, pay particular attention to your left ribs. Nod your head yes, and lengthen that left arm overhead and feel how your ribs want to pop up. Without tucking your hips too much, pull the ribs down, and then bring the arms straight above you. So inhale up and over, chin tucked, exhale above. Inhale up and over, exhale above. Reach and lift. Adding on, bend the elbow and then lift. Up and overhead, bend and lift. Up and overhead, bend and lift. Just 2 more like that. Up and overhead, bend and lift. Last time, bend and lift. Leave the arm overhead, bend and straighten, 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 straighten. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Weights go into your right hand, holding as best you can. Left hand across the ribs, particular attention to the right rib, right arm up by your ear. Feel that challenge for your abs. Arms reach overhead and then come above you. We reach and come above. Keep it going. We'll add the bend and then straighten as you lift. Up and over, bend and straighten. Good, and then this time arms go overhead, arm goes overhead, stay there, bend and straighten, straighten, straighten. And relax. Arms just reach overhead, palms to the sky. Let everything relax. And then see if you can flip and kind of bring your fingertips towards your head, right? If that makes some sense. Flexing through the wrist. A little passive stretch for the tricep maybe. And then shake that all out. Beautiful. Arms out into that T position again. Just nice opening across the chest here. Good. And then we're going to take that weight and bring it behind our right hamstring and give it a nice hug in. We're going to bring that over to the right just a little bit, using maybe the head of the dumbbell to pull it over. And then back through center. We're going to stretch out that left leg and flex through the heel. I'm going to slide that weight down and lift up the bottom of the leg and push the knee down. So we're doing both at the same time. You're going to point and flex with that weight up against the belly of the muscle. You might feel that a little more. Go windshield wiper side to side and circle. Make sure you take your circles in both directions. And then straighten that leg, lift yourself up, bend the elbow, lift yourself tall, flex through the heel, and then finally bend that knee again, closing that dumbbell. Right arm to the side. As a matter of fact, if your weight is handy, put it in your right hand to keep that right chest open as you bring that right knee towards your left shoulder. I want you to really emphasize bringing it up more than over. To really pull it up so you get that deep, deep stretch on the hip. And then put the right foot on the outside of the left leg, untangle that weight, and just pull it over to the left for now. You can let go of both weights. Let's go ahead and flip that right leg open, passive figure four. Now, if you want, you can put your weights on the inside of your right thigh and on the front of your left hip flexor, and you'll get a deeper stretch. You don't have to do that, but that's certainly an option. You can even do it with just your hands. And then we'll go ahead and bend that left knee and then extend it up, threading our needle. And now we'll flex and point through that left leg without the weight there. Just notice the difference. And then we'll bend the left knee and bring the right leg over. And now here's where we want to stretch our hands underneath those weights as we bring those knees up to the left, and then option to go into your full twist. Come on back through center, uncross your legs. Let's grab the weight that's in your right hand and bring it behind your left leg. Use that dumbbell head to pull that left leg a little bit to the left. Pull it up and in. A little movement through there if that would feel good. And then come on back through center, flex through that right heel as you straighten that right leg out. Bring that left knee in, slide that dumbbell up so it's at the belly of your calf muscle, and then flex and point, and you may feel that a little bit more right where that weight is sort of giving you a massage-ish. Trigger point massage, side to side, and then circle. And make sure you go both ways. And then we'll straighten that leg up. We'll roll up with the pointed leg, bring it down, and then that weight tucks behind us again. And once again, we'll slide that left hand under the weight. We'll bring that dumbbell up towards the right shoulder. So again, I can go sideways and it's more of a twist, but if I lift up towards the shoulder, I get more of that deep hip stretch. And then I'm going to put the left foot on the ground on the outside of that right thigh. We'll let that right weight go to the side. And then I'm just going to flip that left leg and get that passive figure four stretch. Option to put your hands there, option to put your weights there, or none of the above. And then we'll go ahead, we'll thread that needle, right leg up in the air, And again, get some mobility through that ankle without the weight there. And then crisscross and hug those knees up and in towards your right shoulder. Hands go underneath the weights and knees drop to the right. Slide your hands out from under those weights. You're going to make your way onto your hands and knees for our cat-cow. Hands are going to be way out in front of you so you can undulate through the cow and roll back through the cat. And then hands right below you. Let's go ahead and tuck those toes, press those hips up in the air, pedal out the heels if that feels good. And then wide stance, head hangs, not yes and shake no. Bend your knees, roll in your cat, inhale in your cow. Thanks, guys.